Hello, Looney Loomers. Joyce here, also known as 33Shintara33. Welcome back to yet another tutorial, my third one already, yay! And this one is very special to me because this bracelet was designed by my dear friend and mentor on Instagram, Sleeplessloomer. I am very honored that she has asked me to make a tutorial for her, so thanks a lot, my friend. And Sleepless Loomer has been looming for over 10 years, so I highly suggest you give her a follow on Instagram and other social media as well, because she makes the most beautiful designs of her own and creations. I'll put the link to her Instagram in the description box down below. Now, this design is called Pluviale2024. She has told me that she got inspired by making this Pluviale style bracelet by the original Pluviale design that was created 10 years earlier in 2014 by G. the Loomster Life. Now I will put a link to a tutorial for that original design in the description box down below. It's a tutorial made by Chodaro's Bling. Pluviale is a Latin or Italian wordplay on things to do with rain. So as you can see, the bands kind of make a little raindrop shape, so that's what the name comes from. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, should you have also made your own Rainbowloom bracelet design and you want to do me the honor of letting me make a tutorial for you, please feel free to shoot me a private message on Instagram or in the comments down below, and we'll see what we can do. I would ask you to stay tuned until the very end of this video, because I am going to show you how you can make an invisible closure for your bracelet. So instead of just using a C-clip to put it together, we will make it invisible. Okay? Enough jibber jabber, let's grab our stuff and let's get looming. For today's bracelet, we will be needing a hook. Now you can choose whatever hook you feel comfortable with. You can even do this design with your regular hook, but I'm going to be using my double-ended slim hook. We're going to do a lot of back and forth on this bracelet. So a double-ended hook is preferable, but you can use whatever hook you want to. I will also show you how to do it with your regular hook. We will need 2 C-clips for closing purposes at the end, but of course, like I said, I'm also going to show you how to make that invisible closure at the end. Again, I am not leaving home without my stitch marker to put on the first cap band we will be making. And for today's bracelet, I will be making one in the same color scheme as this. So I will be using pink, just regular pink bands, and I will be using these neon greens. Nice and bright. I'm not ready to give up summer yet. Okay, so let's get started. We are going to make a so-called single chain first, like you see here. Because this design is a chain-based design. So if you look here, you can see that this is the actual chain and the links of the chain that we will be working with. And we are going to keep going back and forth until our bracelet is long enough. Now the fun thing about this bracelet is that you can make it as wide as you want to by just adding more links to the chain. As you see here, this one has 9 links to it, so it's a little bit wider. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we're sticking to the original design, which has 6 links in each row. To get started, first we will need to make a cap band, of course. So we're simply going to place a band on our hook, give it a twist, put the other end on our hook, and there we have our figure 8, creating that cap band. And here is where my trusty sidekick comes in. I keep the cap band in place with my stitch marker. Now I'm sorry about the light, guys. It's sunny and cloudy here, so the lighting quality will vary. I hope you can bear with me. We are simply going to pull through 6 individual bands now, creating 6 individual links on our chain. So we're going to put a band on our hook, pull it through the cap band, and attach the other side. We're going to do this 5 more times. So pull a band through both loops on your hook. That's the second link. This is 3. The cap band does not count as a link, so just forget about that. This is 4. 5. As you see, we already have our chain forming here. And that is number 6. There we go. So do not count the cap band. That's our 6 links. Now our first actual row is a little bit tricky, so please pay close attention because we are going to work with only one part of each link on the chain. And we keep doing this until we finished our bracelet. Now to make sure that we keep working on the right side of the chain each time, because as you can see, it looks the same on all sides, we are going to have to keep a close eye on our cap band. We do not want to be looking into the cap band, but we will want to be looking at the side of it. Okay, so not through it, but at the side of it. So we keep this side at the front the whole time. Now, remember, the first band we pull through, the last link of our previous row will always get pulled through both loops on our hook. Okay, so that first link of the next row will always get pulled through both loops of that previous link. Now we're going to make sure that we're looking at the right side of our cap band again before we start working on our next link. So we are looking at the side. We have our next link right here because this one we already pulled the band through. And now we are going to pull our band through the top part of that next link on the front. So to do so, we are putting our hook through the top of it and only pick up the top part of that link facing us. And we're going to pull a band through here, through all 3 loops on your hook. Okay, now as you can see, it's already a mess and I'm looking through my cap band, so we're going to make sure that we are going to look at the side of our cap band again. And then we locate our next link, which is here. And again, to pull our next band through, we go through the top of that link. And we're only picking up the top side of that link facing us. And we're pulling a band through all 3 loops on our hook. It's only the first row that is this difficult. The next rows will be more easy, guys, I promise. Okay. We have the side of our cap band again. We locate link number 3, go through the top, pick up that top band right there, and we pull our band through all 3 loops. As you can see, we already have the pattern forming here, right? So that's the front of our bracelet already. Oh, let me check again. Okay, cap band was facing the right way. What am I doing? There's my hook. Next band. I'm looking at the side of my, that's not correct. Let's give it a twist. Here we go, the next link. The last one, because that cap band does not count as a link. Just forget about that cap band for now. And that's our first row done. Now, as you can see, we already have our pattern forming here. Okay? To get to the end of each row, we will need to turn our hook around. Now, if you have a double-ended hook, you can simply slide your bracelet to the other side and turn it all around. But if you do not have a double-ended hook, we will need to pinch these 2 bands tightly, take our hook out carefully, and put our hook through the loops on the other side. And then we turn it around and we can work again. Now, thankfully, we will only have 2 bands on our hook every time we do this, so it will not be too difficult to do if you're just using your regular loom hook, I think, right? Now, to start on our next row, remember, the first band of the 6 will always get pulled through both loops of that last link of the previous row. So both loops there. Now we have to pull through 5 more bands. I'm going to teach you a little trick so you can remember on what side of the bracelet you are working on, so you keep picking up the right side of that link each time. Now, as you can see, this is the front of the bracelet. So when we are looking at the back of the bracelet, we are going to grab the back of the chain we are working on. Okay? And if we are looking at the front of the bracelet, like so, we are going to grab the front of those links we will be working on. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you guys, because we want the pattern to show up on the right side, so this is very important. Now, this is where the actual pattern will repeat itself. So I will put a timestamp in the video right here, and you can access those in the description box below. So if you need more help after I've shown you a few rows, you can simply jump back to this point to follow along with me again. Okay? Now we've already added our first link by pulling it through both loops of the previous link of the previous row. And since we're looking at the back of our bracelet now, we are going to pick up the back of that next link. Always go from the inside out. So we go through the top, pick up the back side of that link, and we're going to add 5 more links to this row. So this is 1. Again, go through the top, scoop it up. 2. Now you always want to make sure you're picking up the part of the actual link and not this loop right here, because that's part of the pattern, you see? So you always want to pick up the topmost part of the chain and then the back side of that link. Okay? That's 4. Number 5. And the last one through that last link, that's number 6. Now we're at the end of the row again, so we're going to have to turn it all around. Pinch and turn or slide and turn, and there we go. Now we are looking at the front of our bracelet. The first band we pull through always gets pulled through both loops of the last link. And the front of the bracelet means that we are going to pick up the front of that link. And we're pulling 5 more bands through, doing the same thing. See, it's not a really hard pattern, but you do have to pay attention on where you are, what part of the link you are actually grabbing. So again, go from the inside out, grab that link facing you. Do not accidentally pick up that one like I was almost doing. Make sure to pick up the part of the link facing you at the top. There we go, from the inside out. One last time. And there we go. See, it works up pretty quickly, this bracelet. Now we either pinch and turn or slide and turn again. And we're going to pull through 6 more links for our next row. So the first one always gets pulled through both loops. We're looking at the back of our bracelet, which is also pretty, but this is the front. So we're looking at the back, so we're picking up the back of that next link. Okay, and this one over here, we do that 4 more times. The back side. There we go, last one. All 3. There we go. Another row done. And we slide and turn. I will do 1 more with you. And then if you need more help, you can always backtrack and go to the next, to the previous timestamp. Okay, so that first one of 6, we're going to pull through both loops. We're looking at the front of the bracelet now. So yes, the front of that link we're picking up. Pull through 5 more. Oops, let's pick up that link first, right? Four. 5. Oh, I lost it there. Let's quickly grab it back. Whew, that was exciting, right? Back. and another one. There we go. Okay, that's it for the pattern. So if you need more help, please go back to the timestamp that says pattern repeat, and you can follow along from there. Okay. Once your bracelet reaches the desired length, you can close it up by simply putting a C-clip on that last stitch you just made and on that cap band we made in the beginning, attaching the 4 corners together. But as I promised you in the beginning, I'm going to show you a way to make an invisible closure that Sleeplessloomer came up with. So that's what we're going to do next. First, let me show you what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be sewing both halves of our bracelet together. And to do so, we're going to have to sew these 2 chains together. So that's that last one we just laid, and that's still on our hook. And that first one we made, that has the cap band on it. Now, if we line these 2 up, you can already see that we're going to have to grab the outside part of each link in the chain and sew these together. But if you remember, starting each row, we pull the band through both loops on our hook first. So now we have to grab the last 2 loops of the other half of our bracelet and put these on our hook. They're over here, the bottom ones. And then we're going to pull that band through all 4 of these loops. There. Now we've made a start in our invisible closure. And now we're going to have to pay close attention that we keep grabbing the right bands, because as you see, the bracelet has a tendency, the chain has a tendency to move inwards. So you will be tempted to pick up this band right here, but that's not the right one, because that's the one that makes up these little stripes. So you have to turn your chain to the outside a little bit so you can see what you're doing. Okay, so next link in the chain, here we go, we pick up the outside on the top one and slide our hook all the way to the end. We can turn it around, or I can just show you like this. Then we grab the outside loop here, and we always have the 2 bands we're going to be stitching together on the outside and the band we're pulling through on the inside. Okay, so 4 loops on our hook, and now we are going to pull the next band through, and we're going to do the same thing again. Oops, don't lose it. There we go. So we're going to check where that outside part of that link is again. That's over there. Slide our hook to the other side. Can turn it around. I find that easier, but that's up to you, of course. And we pick up the outside of that next link here. Again, 4 loops on our hook. The one we're stitching together at the outside and the actual stitch on the inside. And we're going to pull through our next band. And we're just going to be doing this all the way up. Now I realize not everyone, of course, has a double-ended hook, so I'm going to show you how you can do this with your regular hook. Okay, so here we go. We need to pick up, this one is easy, the outside link. The outside part of that link, I mean. And now we have to pinch this off, put our hook back in on the other side. Always exciting. Please pick them up all 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we can turn it around and pick up the outside loop. There we go. Whew. I always get warm when I do that. Afraid I have to start all over again. Pull a band through, and there we go. I will show you that again with the regular hook, okay? So we're almost at the top. Pick up the outside part of that link. Give it a little tug. Pinch it off. Turn it around. Pray. There we go. And pick up the outside part of the next link. There we go. Pull a band through. just a matter of going slow and steady and paying close attention to, whoops, oh my goodness, to what part of the link you pick up. Okay, but as you can see, we're almost done. Nice, huh? And now, the outside part of the next link. Pinch it off. Turn it all around. Everything back on our hook, please. And then the outside part of the next link right here. Pull the band through. There we go. This one is a bit stubborn. Here we go. Okay, now I ended the wrong way around to show you, so I'm just going to turn my hook around because I can show you better. Now we're at the top of the chain already. You see, we have no more, I'm sorry, I was out of frame a bit. We have no more loops to pull through, so we're just going to put that cap band on our hook. And well, it actually already moves to the inside here, you see. I wanted to say, okay, we can do this. So pull the cap band over that band you're stitching with, in my case the green band. Take this band you're stitching with off the hook. Let the cap band fall in the middle of those two bands. Put the other end of that band you're stitching with, the green one, back on your hook. And here we can put our C-clip on. Let me see if I can do it on camera. There we go. I always get nervous with these things. So, and there we have our invisible closure. I really like it. Now, if you want it truly to be invisible, what I do is I twist this cap band to the middle a little bit, and I just pull one of these bands through it, so it will sit on the back side a bit like so. Then you really have an invisible closure, as you can see, right? Well, Loony Loomers, that was it for this tutorial. I hope you all had fun making this beautiful Pluviale 2024 bracelet. And please remember, if you make this bracelet and you want to post it on social media, please tag me in the picture and also Sleeplessloomer and use the hashtags Pluviale2024, the hashtag Sleeplessloomer, and 33shintara33, so we can all see your beautiful creations. And again, if you should have made a design you want me to make a tutorial for, please feel free to contact me and we'll see if I can make a tutorial for you as well. And if you like this tutorial and you want to see more of my content and creations, please like this video and subscribe to my channel with the button you see here below. And please come find me on Instagram too for more content and creations. And if you have any comments or questions, please, you can always shoot me a private message on Instagram or message me through the comments down below. And yeah, stay tuned for more of my designs and tutorials coming up. That was it for today. Stay colorful, stay creative, and most of all, stay loony. That's all, folks.